Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be going over all of the Tuesday morning stores that will be closing as of Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. Coincidentally enough, this Tuesday morning, filed for bankruptcy, or Chapter 11. No pun intended there. So, without further ado, here are all the Tuesday morning locations that will be closing. So, in the state of Alabama, we have the Tuesday morning store in Birmingham, Alabama, the Tuesday morning store in Hoover, Alabama, the Tuesday morning store in Decatur, Alabama, the Tuesday morning store in Dothan, Alabama, the Tuesday morning store in Huntsville, Alabama, the Tuesday morning store in Northport, Alabama, the Tuesday morning store in Gulf Shores, Alabama, the Tuesday morning store in Mobile, Alabama, the Tuesday store in Birmingham, Alabama, and finally the Tuesday morning store in Huntsville, Alabama. In the state of Arkansas, we have the Tuesday morning store in Cabot, Arkansas, and the Tuesday morning store in Jonesboro, Arkansas. In the state of Arizona, we have the Tuesday morning store in Scottsdale, Arizona, the Tuesday morning store in Tempe, Arizona, the Tuesday morning store in Phoenix, Arizona, Tuesday morning store Phoenix, Arizona at Village Square 2, Tuesday morning store in Tucson, Arizona, Tuesday morning store in Peoria, Arizona, Tuesday morning store in Avondale, Arizona, the Tuesday morning store in Glendale, Arizona, the Tuesday morning store in Chandler, Arizona, the Tuesday morning store at Wilmot Plaza in Tucson, Arizona, and finally the Tuesday morning store in Mesa, Arizona. In the state of California, we have the Tuesday morning store in Glendora, California, the Tuesday morning store in Rancho Cucamonga, California, the Tuesday morning store in Redlands, California, the Tuesday morning store in Riverside, California, the Tuesday morning store in San Diego, California, the Tuesday morning store in Carlsbad, California, the Tuesday morning store in Modesto, California, the Tuesday morning store in Woodland Hills, California, the Tuesday morning store in Camarillo, California, the Tuesday morning store in San Diego, California at UC Marketplace, the Tuesday morning store at Town Center, Palm Desert, California, the Tuesday morning store in San Jose, California, the Tuesday morning store in Lakewood, California, the Tuesday morning store in Roseville, California, the Tuesday morning store in Orange, California, the Tuesday morning store in El Cajun, California, the Tuesday morning store in Clovis, California, the Tuesday morning store in Petaluma, California, the Tuesday morning store in Reading, California, or Redding, California, the Tuesday morning store in Fountain Valley, California, the Tuesday morning store in Grande Hills, California, the Tuesday morning store in Novato, California, the Tuesday morning store in La Vergne, California, the Tuesday morning store in Torrance, California, the Tuesday morning store in Chico, California, Tuesday morning store San Diego, California at Valle del Rio Shopping Center, the Tuesday morning store Riviera Plaza, the Tuesday morning store in Curtis Heights, California, the Tuesday morning store in Bakersfield, California, the Tuesday morning store in Folsom, California, and the Tuesday morning store in Santa Monica, California. In the state of Colorado, we have the Tuesday morning store in Silverthorne, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Parker, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Grand Junction, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Fort Collins, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Longmont, California, the Tuesday morning store in Castle Rock, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Power Pointe, Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in North Glen, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Pueblo, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store at University Hills Shopping Center in Denver, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Sheridan, Colorado, Tuesday morning store at Arendale Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Tuesday morning store in Littleton, Colorado at Market at South Park, the Tuesday morning store at Ballast Crossings in Littleton, Colorado, and the Tuesday morning store at Johnson Plaza in Johnsontown, Colorado. In the state of Delaware, we have the Tuesday morning store in Hockessin, Delaware, and the Tuesday morning store in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. In the state of Florida, we have the Tuesday morning store in Naples, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Spring Hill, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Fort Myers, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Sun City Center, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Clearwater, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Gainesville, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Destin, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Lake Lady, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Winter Park, Florida, the Tuesday morning store in Melbourne, Florida, the Tuesday morning store at Point Point Verde Beach, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Semihole, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Tampa, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Fort Myers, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Melbourne, Florida at Lake Washington Square, the Tuesday Morning Store in Delaware, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Venice, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Sarasota, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Bradenton, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Merritt Island, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in St. Petersburg, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Pompano Beach, Florida, the Tuesday Morning Store in Titusville, Florida. In the state of Georgia, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Dalton, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Milton, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Tucker, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Beaufort, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Warner Robins, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Roseville, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Savannah, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Snellsville, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Athens, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Marietta, Georgia, the Tuesday Morning Store in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Dawsonville, Georgia. In the state of Iowa, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in West Des Moines, Iowa, the Tuesday Morning Store in Davenport, Iowa, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Coralville, Iowa. In the state of Idaho, we have the Tuesday Morning Store at Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. In the state of Illinois, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Peoria, Illinois, the Tuesday Morning Store in Champaign, Illinois, the Tuesday Morning Store in Niles, Illinois, the Tuesday Morning Store in Springfield, Illinois, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Western Springs, Illinois. In the state of Indiana, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Evansville, Indiana, the Tuesday Morning Store in Lafayette, Indiana, the Tuesday Morning Store in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the Tuesday Morning Store in Mishawaka, Indiana, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Fort Wayne, Indiana. In the state of Kansas, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Ithaca, Kansas. In the state of Kentucky, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Lexington, Kentucky, the Tuesday Morning Store in Paducah, Kentucky, the Tuesday Morning Store in Alexandria, Kentucky, the Tuesday Morning Store in Lexington, Kentucky, the Tuesday Morning Store in Owensboro, Kentucky, and finally the Tuesday Morning Store in Louisville, Kentucky. In the state of Louisiana, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Grenada, Louisiana, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In the state of Maryland, we have a couple. We have the Tuesday Morning Store in Hagerstown, Maryland, the Tuesday Morning Store in Silver Spring, Maryland, the Tuesday Morning Store in Bowie, Maryland, the Tuesday Morning Store in Ellicott City, Maryland, the Tuesday Morning Store in Annapolis, Maryland, the Tuesday Morning Store in Bel Air, Maryland, the Tuesday Morning Store in Rockville, Maryland, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Severina Park, Maryland. In the state of Michigan, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the Tuesday Morning Store in Portage, Michigan, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Troy, Michigan. In Minnesota, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Railsville, Minnesota, the Tuesday Morning Store in Excelsior, Minnesota, and the Tuesday Morning Store in St. Cloud, Minnesota. In the state of Missouri, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Kansas City, Missouri, at State Line Station, and the other Kansas City, Missouri Tuesday Morning Store at Tiffany Springs. We also have the Tuesday Morning Store in Creve Coeur, Missouri, and Olivet, Missouri. In the state of Mississippi, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in South Haven, Mississippi, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Tupelo, Mississippi. In the state of North Carolina, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have the Tuesday Morning Store in Gastonia, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Durham, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store at Charlotte, North Carolina at Park Square, the Tuesday Morning Store in Shire Place, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Nag Head, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Bonnie, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Matthews, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Greensboro, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Raleigh, North Carolina at Wakefield Crossing Shopping Center, the Tuesday Morning Store in Apex, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Morehead City, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Raleigh, North Carolina at Creekside Crossing Shopping Center, the Tuesday Morning Store in Greensville, North Carolina, the Tuesday Morning Store in Raleigh, North Carolina, and finally the Tuesday Morning Store at Rivergate Shopping Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. In the state of Nebraska, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Lincoln, Nebraska, and in my home state of New Jersey, this hits pretty hard. This is actually right here in Bergen County. The Tuesday Morning Store at Midland Park Shopping Center in Midland Park, New Jersey. That is a town in Bergen County, by the way. In the state of New Mexico, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In the state of Nevada, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Reno, Nevada, the Tuesday Morning Store in Carson City, Nevada, the Tuesday Morning Store at Montecito Crossing in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Tuesday Morning Store at Rampart Plaza in Las Vegas, Nevada. In the state of New York, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Hamburg, New York, the Tuesday Morning Store in Rochester, New York, and the Tuesday Morning Store in Greenlawn, New York. In the state of Ohio, we have the Tuesday Morning Store in Centerville, Ohio, the Tuesday Morning Store in Cincinnati, Ohio at Cherry Grove Plaza, a Tuesday Morning store just at Glen Crossing Way in Cincinnati, Ohio, the Tuesday Morning store in Columbus, Ohio, the Tuesday Morning store in Hilliard, Ohio, the Tuesday Morning store in Canton, Ohio, and finally the Tuesday Morning store in Middle Heights, Ohio. In the state of Oklahoma, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and the Tuesday Morning store in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. In the state of Oregon, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Milwaukee, Oregon, the Tuesday Morning store in Greesham, Oregon, the Tuesday Morning store in Medford, Oregon, the Tuesday Morning store in Salem, Oregon, the Tuesday Morning store in Bend, Oregon, which is ironically enough is home to the last Blockbuster, and the Tuesday Morning store in Beaverton, Oregon. In the state of Pennsylvania, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Drexhill, Pennsylvania, the Tuesday Morning store in Erie, Pennsylvania, the Tuesday Morning store in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, the Tuesday Morning store in McMurray, Pennsylvania, the Tuesday Morning store in Southampton, Pennsylvania, and finally the Tuesday Morning store in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In the state of South Carolina, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Florence, South Carolina, the Tuesday Morning store in Columbia, South Carolina, the Tuesday Morning store in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, the Tuesday Morning store in Keene, South Carolina, the Tuesday Morning store in Eastleigh, South Carolina, and the Tuesday Morning store in Charleston, South Carolina. In the state of South Dakota, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. In Tennessee, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Franklin, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Gordava, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Hendersonville, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Bartlett, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Kingsport, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Germantown, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, the Tuesday Morning store in Johnson City, Tennessee, and finally the Tuesday Morning store in Memphis, Tennessee. And guys, get ready because Texas, there is a lot of Tuesday Morning stores closing. Tuesday Morning store in College Station, Texas, Tuesday Morning store in Austin, Texas, Tuesday Morning store in Garland, Texas, Tuesday Morning store in Plano, Texas, Tuesday Morning store, Austin, Texas, Brody Oak Shopping Center. Tuesday Morning store in Louisville, Texas. Tuesday Morning store, Houston, Texas, at Wieselin Plaza West. Tuesday Morning store in Hurst, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Burleson, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Austin, Texas, at the B Spot on Burnett. Tuesday Morning store in Humboldt, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Victoria, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Houston, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Fort Worth, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Odessa, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Fort Worth, Texas at Village Camp at Bowie. Tuesday Morning store in Ithaca Falls, Texas. Tuesday Morning store Fort Worth, Texas at Hunland Fashion Center. Tuesday Morning store in Bedford, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in Beaumont, Texas. Tuesday Morning store in El Paso, Texas. Tuesday Morning store Houston, Texas, West Hill Village. Tuesday Morning store in Granbury, Texas. And Tuesday Morning store Fort Worth, Texas at the shops at Cushman Trail Ranch. In the state of Utah, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Salt Lake City, Utah, the Tuesday Morning store in St. George, Utah, and the Tuesday Morning store in Odigian, Utah. In the state of Virginia, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Newport News, Virginia, at Warwick Village, Tuesday Morning store in Jefferson Green Shopping Center, Tuesday Morning store in Smoketown Station, Woodbridge, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in Alexandria, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in Richmond, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in Manassas, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in Norfolk, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in Ashland, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in Chesterfield, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in West Springfield, Virginia, Tuesday Morning store in Mechanicsville, Virginia, and the Tuesday Morning store in Richmond, Virginia. In the state of Washington, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Puyallup, Washington, the Tuesday Morning store in Lace, Washington, the Tuesday Morning store in Vancouver, Washington, and the Tuesday Morning store in Spokane, Washington. Finally, in the state of Wisconsin, we have the Tuesday Morning store in Greenfield, Wisconsin, and the Tuesday Morning store in Waukesha, Wisconsin. So that is all the Tuesday Morning stores that are currently closing. I don't know if this is all of them that are closing, but these are the stores that are closing as of Wednesday, February 14th, 2023. And coincidentally enough, they filed for bankruptcy on Tuesday morning at 8:30. So that's kind of the running joke. Again, no pun intended, but these are all the stores that are closing. It's not a joke, obviously, and people are unfortunately going to be losing their jobs. So I wish nothing but the best for these people that will be losing their job at these Tuesday Morning stores that are closing. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Link to their website will be located in the video description below, and that will be it.